Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screens for a brief message from a good friend who couldn't be with us today.
I'm Mark Levin. I'm a nationally syndicated radio host, an author. I run the Landmark Legal Foundation. I'm a member of the National Rifle Association. I'm a big supporter of the National Rifle Association and the Second Amendment. I want to thank the National Rifle Association for being the paramount voice, not just for the Second Amendment, but for individual sovereignty and liberty. I don't know what we would do without the National Rifle Association. The forces that are gathering even now in Washington and in the states to destroy our Second Amendment right are ominous. And they're not focused on criminals. They're not focused on mass murders. They're focused on we, the people. The fact of the matter is these are very, very perilous times. The federal government is becoming increasingly powerful. And the Bill of Rights are under attack, unless, of course, you're a mass murderer or a terrorist, in which place they kick in and are strongly defended. But I'm talking about law-abiding citizens. That's who I care about. Citizens who work hard, who pay their taxes, and who want to defend their families, and who want to go hunting, who want to have target practice. Or they want guns, maybe in their closet, that sit there for 30 years and they never touch. Why do I care what they do with their weapons as long as they're law-abiding? And this is the point. I hear it often said, you don't need this type of a firearm. You don't need this amount of ammunition. Well, wait a minute. Who gets to decide that? We get to decide that. It's not a bill of needs, it's a bill of rights, and the Second Amendment is included. As a matter of fact, there'd be no Constitution but for the Bill of Rights, because way back when the Federalists, who weren't that crazy about a Bill of Rights, had a little problem. They adopted the Constitution in Philadelphia, but they were having problems getting it ratified in all places, Massachusetts and New York and Virginia and New Hampshire and several other of the states. And they had to agree, the Federalists, with the anti-Federalists, that when the first Congress met, should the Constitution be ratified, that they would introduce a bill of amendments. And in the House, they introduced 17 of them. In the Senate, they whittled it down to 12. The House accepted the 12, and those amendments were sent to the states. And the states whittled it down to 10. And the Second Amendment was absolutely crucial. If you read the ratification document that was sent by New York and Virginia ratifying the Constitution, you will see that they raised the issue of the right of bearing arms and the militia to be armed as well. One other aspect about the Second Amendment, I'm sure all of you know, but just in case, the left likes to talk about a well-armed militia, as if that somehow eliminates the other part of the Second Amendment. Well, of course it doesn't. But what is a well-armed militia? Why were the states demanding that their militias be well-armed? They were demanding that their militias be well-armed, not only to defend themselves against foreign intruders, but to defend themselves just in case the federal government got out of control. Now, I know liberals don't like to hear this stuff, but this is our history. This is why we have a Second Amendment and our individual sovereignty. And I want to tell you something. I didn't join the NRA till 18 months ago. I never owned a single firearm until 18 months ago. I never owned a single bullet until 18 months ago. Now I have 3 firearms, hundreds of rounds, and I'm going to get more. And I want to thank the NRA for finally waking me up, and I hope millions of other Americans, and that's due to you. So keep up the fight. We have to be victorious.